Heidi.
Welcome
Oh!
to another Ramble Radio, motherfucker!
But
Eddie, yeah,
even this far away in Las Vegas, it's still video.
still video. Also
It's still
radio.
video where I'm at.
But and Eddie, should we just talk? You
Maybe
got
at the
kicked out
state
of
level.
Yeah, Eddie got kicked out of the house. Now he's moved to Vegas. He's living out of a roadside motel in Vegas.
I'm living the dream at a Motel 6 in Vegas.
Oh man.
Off Vegas. Off Vegas.
Worst places to be. Worst when your life falls apart. There are worse places to be.
Absolutely. Because here, there's always hope of the next. Yeah.
The next hand.
The next hand. The next drop of the roulette ball. The next spin of the.
Could life change your life
slots.
for the better? They think it's just
always
you and
hope in
me.
Vegas. Yeah, of course.
It is. Dude, either he flipped or one of two things. He flipped or he's still on the team and he swore to Trump that they were going to get a 2026 hearing. And then now you just got the March bomb was dropped. And I don't know. He is in pure scramble mode right now. Don't you think?
Pure scramble. I mean, I wouldn't doubt if there's a third option out there of him trying to leave the country. We may never see Cody again.
He's dyed his hair.
Cody may be going on the lam. He may be going on the lam.
He's like fucking Pony Boy in The Outsiders. He fucking dyed his hair, bleached his hair and shit.
He's going to look like little Guy Fieri.
How funny. If Cody did that. Oh, shit. Oh, man.
Mini Guy Fieri.
Bro. Oh, man. I could see it, if anybody. Well, Eddie, this is Ramble Radio. You ready for this? You sitting down?
Yeah. I am.
3, 4, 5.
3, 4, 5.
When are we not? We're not going to see this again until when?
Till 4, 5, 6.
4, 5, 6.
That's over 100 of these away.
Wait, and so is this the most important ramble since 1, 2, 3,
or 2, 3, 4?
2, 3, 4. Man.
I mean, if you're looking back at it, 2, 3, 4 probably happened over a year ago.
Man.
Right? Because we're doing 2 of these a week.
This is
100 would be 50 some weeks.
This is a huge one.
Huge, guys.
Huge.
Monumental.
Huge. Man, I'm starting to, just through osmosis, because I can hear it in the room next to me.
Yeah.
Normally, Andrea's in this room working. She was kind enough to sacrifice the office for us to Ramble Radio.
Look at that.
I know, but I really think it's because she's probably somebody.
She's boinking somebody? The old guy from upstairs?
Probably the old guy from... Well, he hasn't complained about the noise.
That's why.
I wonder
She's
why.
Boinking him.
She's
boinking him.
Jerry,
I took care of the noise problem.
She said, turn the subwoofer back on. We're going to be fine. That's what she said. And I'm like, well, okay, but I thought bass can trap. No, she goes, we're going to be fine.
We're good. Don't ask.
Are you hearing this, Andrea? Huh? Because she's already.
Because she can't answer. She's got a cockadoodle in the mouth. Cockadoodle do.
But is that a good grenade for her to jump on? For me,
I think you got to
allow me to play video games late at night, and then watch movies late at night and stuff. Is that?
I think she's angling for a big ring. I think.
Right. I would just assume
at some point.
I would assume there's better grenades for her to jump on. Like I could just live without the subwoofer. You know, I just would think, but I don't know. But anyway, like because of her being in here,
yeah.
So she can't just work like, and I get it. She has to have something else on, right?
Of course.
While she's working, unless she's in a meeting. But that something else is usually a reality television program. And now because
What's her go-to?
I've heard it. I'm starting to like kind of know who all the Vanderpump Rules people.
Oh, your fault. You know Vanderpump Rules now.
I kind of a little, and I'm like, I still don't know everyone's names, but like,
but you're following the stories.
I'm kind of catching, and Jesus Christ, these are the dumbest fucking people. I don't understand. Like there was right now, there's an episode like one of the chicks was like, "Well, we had to take him to the emergency vet," and I'm like, I guarantee you, she's talking about a child. Like they're that stupid that they, you know what I mean? Like we had to take him to an emergency vet, and it's like an actual, like a child.
He's a vet because he's worked in the war before. He was a doctor in the war.
In the war.
That's why they call him a vet, because he was a doctor in the war.
He's a war doctor, and we're taking our son to the war doctor.
Because is there a better doctor than a war doctor? No.
Here's what I just they've seen like fucking everything. Here's what I don't understand about like watching that show. Is I would not want to see I would not want to talk to or hang out with any of those people ever. So why do I want to watch it? You know what I mean? Why do I want to watch their day-to-day bullshit? Their day-to-day probably 90% manufactured bullshit. If I wouldn't even want to.
And if you are like, say you're one of those people in Vanderpump Rules,
right?
You know what they're going to make you look like, right? Like you know what the end product is going to be.
They're going to.
So are you excited?
They're going to pick the worst moments of your day, and they're going to go, okay, that's what we're running with.
So are they excited? Are they excited when it comes on? Like, oh, look at me on TV. Or are they just so blinded that they're on TV that they don't even care what they're saying?
They don't even care. Like, hey, that's the time I fucked my best friend's boyfriend. That was
right there on TV. Look,
there's me. But apparently, there's this thing called the Scandal Vol that happened because there was a cast member named Tom Sandoval apparently who fucked a bunch of people. Well, he shouldn't have. He got in trouble. Okay. And so it was a scandal.
Okay.
But it was centered around a guy named Tom Sandoval. So all the fans called it the Scandal Ball. She heard about it, and that made her start watching. So it happens at like the end of season 10, which is the most recent season. So she just sat like, I'm like, you can just start there.
And watch.
She went back like, this isn't The Wire. You don't need to start with episode 1. Like this, you know, like what the?
She's watching old reality TV.
Right, this isn't The Sopranos. You don't have to start at the first episode. Like you just fucking season 10. All right.
There, I'm in, and you go forward. You don't need any backstory.
She's like getting the backstory.
And why would Scandival be something that draws her in? Why? Because a guy banged a bunch of chicks.
Was like, oh my god, and she's like, oh, can we go back 10 years? Let me go back a decade of the same thing happening in every single show. She's just been watching it nonstop. Oh God, it's maybe something. It makes you feel better about Schmerelson. There, I said it.
I mean, it does. It does. Make you long for the days of Schmerelson?
A little bit.
I mean, because you guys aren't in the, and he's not in the vicinity anymore.
We're not in his districts, but I mean, what is that going to stop her? I don't know.
Is Schmerelson going to come all the way down there for that when he can just lay pipe anywhere he's at? I mean, that guy's in demand, so it's not like he's got to go looking for it.
He doesn't have to. Please. The Schmerels? The Schmerels can get it whenever you want. Dude,
Schmerels?
All right, we've been talking about this because we better get on this because by the time this comes out, it's going to be a third episode.
Okay.
And, you're not ready quite yet to hate Ashoka.
I didn't hate Ashoka. I had problems with Ashoka. It's a very, again, I mean, I'll say all my bad stuff first, and you can unleash your fury. I thought it was very uneven. There's parts of it I really liked. There's
Right.
parts of it I was like, I don't want another fucking map in Star Wars ever again. We don't ever need to do a map thing ever again in Star Wars. Find a different plot device to move the story forward other than a fucking map. But visually, I thought a lot of things were cool. I thought it looked a lot like Rebels season 5. Again, if it was like a 25-minute episode and no map, I thought it would have been great. Episode 2 is a lot better. I liked was that guy Balin or whatever the fuck the Dark Jedi is.
The rest
I
in
like
peace, the Punisher.
The Punisher, the good Punisher movie. And I like their idea because I think there's something going on there where these are dark Jedi and not necessarily Sith. That's why they have orange lightsabers and not full red ones.
Right.
I like the fact that his apprentice still has the Padawan braid, and he looked like he still, at the end of that second episode, was like, it would be a shame to kill her. There's so few Jedi left. Like he seems to have a fondness for the Jedi Order at some point. So I think that's an interesting take on Dark Jedi, which we haven't seen before. Again, all the map shit and the fucking the MacGuffins and the plot devices and all this other shit. I wish they would just started where Rebels ended with Ahsoka and Sabine flying off instead of giving us 2 episodes to get to that point.
Right.
So again, I didn't hate it. I think it's going to get better from here because I think we are picking up from now the point of Rebels ending and we are going forward. So I think it's going to get better. I didn't hate it though, but it didn't blow me away. So there's my spiel.
I almost hated it. I'm very close to hating it.
Well, you texted me while you were watching it you said, had you watched it yet? And I was like, I haven't watched it yet. This was last week. And you're like, stop. There's still time to save yourself. Run.
Yeah, run.
I think was what your text.
Run away. You still have time to save yourself. I didn't like it at all. I didn't hate it, but I didn't like any of it. I thought, and it's like I told you, how do you fuck up lightsabers in the Force? How do you make that boring? How is that boring? It's lightsabers in the Force, baby. Let's get to it. She's a fucking master. She should be flipping around, throwing them, catching them, like all kinds of cool shit. The fight choreography was so lame. And that was what I was looking forward to, was seeing Ahsoka, because that fight with her and Darth Maul and then her and Vader were so good and so well done. And the fight, and I know that's animated, but the fight choreography in this, I was like, this is it? Now that's just, I thought there were plot holes everywhere. I'm with you. I hated the fucking map. The thing about the Dark Jedi, and this is why I didn't like the fact that everything has had, I understand Grogu, but the Obi-Wan shit, it would have been great if there were just no other Force-sensitive people besides Grogu and then right now. Because that would have been so much more interesting. And then that's how they escaped the Order, right? Is because they weren't Sith, they weren't Jedi, nobody knew they even, you know what I mean? They were just apart from all that. That would have been so much more interesting, but they had to throw all that bullshit into Obi-Wan where there's like 40 fucking Force-sensitive people. Like, they should have just, like, it would have been, how much more shocking would it have been if you'd seen for the first time since Grogu and Mandalorian 2 Force-sensitive people that aren't Ahsoka, right? Walk out and like, what the fuck? Like, that would have been way more...
but...
I don't know. And then, of course, my problems were just the plot.
They already let that out of the bag, though, a while ago with...
Right, and that's why I'm annoyed with it. It's like, and they, again, I hope it gets better, but like the fact that they needed Ahsoka's dumbass, needed Sabine to turn a Rubik's Cube 2 times. Yeah. That was it. You can't tell me, are we assuming that for days Ahsoka was just like, oh, shucks. Like, that was so stupid. There were so many parts of it that
and
were
the fact
so
there's a map...
dumb.
There's a map that's been hidden for 1,000 years in a temple that shows the location of a guy that disappeared 10 years ago.
And if Thrawn is so powerful to send messages through time and space, they don't need him. He doesn't need anybody.
Yeah.
And then I didn't understand.
Unless they don't have. I guess I don't know how he's sending the message through time and space, but my only thing is maybe he doesn't have a hyperdrive core, or it's damaged on the Star Destroyer that was on, and that's why they have to come get him and bring him back.
But I don't understand.
It's the only thing I'm guessing.
But what I still don't understand is, how do they know where he is when we just saw a bunch of whales fucking take him and Ezra? Like, how do they fucking know? Like, all that was just like, wait a minute, this is so fucking stupid. Here's the first thing I texted you. I remember this now. And I said, Dave Filoni must be stopped no matter the cost. That's what I said to you.
Again, I think Filoni he's a good idea guy the way Lucas was.
But that's
he needs
telling
someone.
me that Jamarcus Russell can throw a football. Sure, but fucking like I'm telling you, Rebels and Clone Wars was Jamarcus Russell at LSU, and then Ahsoka is Jamarcus Russell in the Raiders. Like,
right, but you get Jamarcus.
Fuck?
But if you get a Bill Walsh to coach Jamarcus Russell, maybe he has an NFL career.
First off, what a shot at Lane Kiffin. My God. Eddie, what a shot
I'm sorry, but I'm taking the shot at Lane. But again, Filoni, great idea guy. Maybe if he has more Favreau doing input, maybe some, maybe the guy, what's the fucking Tony Gilroy, the guy who did Andor.
Yeah. I would love if they just gave the fucking rings to him. Like, look, you handle this. And I think Filoni is just trapped by his own love for the product.
He does love it more than everybody else.
And it's like, dude, and Gilroy, from what I heard, didn't give a fuck about it. And then he churns out one of the best movies and the best TV show. And he could have given a fuck about it. And that's, I think you need that middle. It would have been nice to have, like, I don't know, like, I just, here's the thing that I don't know about Filoni even being the idea guy, because none of it makes sense. Like, the plot doesn't, so the witch lady knew where Thrawn was. She knew where the map was that had Thrawn's location. So why didn't she just go get it? If it was there for thousands of years, why didn't she just go, the minute he shot off, please, I got him. And then
but
but wait, then when she gets arrested, and that's when she calls the mercenaries, and she's in a prison on the ship, she's shackled. How the fuck did she call them? It just, none of it makes any sense. This is like, it's just,
I mean,
I don't know. I forgave Dolomite when they abandoned the Who Killed Little Jimmy plot line. They abandoned that thing 5 seconds into the movie.
They also abandoned Andor's. They abandoned Andor's sister pretty quick too.
They abandoned that. But everything else was so good, I didn't give a shit.
Right.
Same thing with Dolomite. Everything else was so good, I didn't care that they just little Jimmy really doesn't matter.
The only thing I can think of, and then I'm doing a lot of heavy lifting here for Filoni, is that. Because we know Ahsoka beat her in Mandalorian Season 2. That's the Sith witch. That's who she beat, got that staff from.
Whooped her ass.
That's her. Whooped her ass.
I
only assume she was getting ready to go.
Right.
She knew where Thrawn was, and she was preparing. That's why Ahsoka was going there to stop her, because she knew she was going to get
She's about to go spring Thrawn.
Ahsoka had this information. Right. She was getting ready to go, and that's why Ahsoka showed up there at that time to stop her.
Right.
So that's what I'm assuming there. That's not made clear.
Right. But then how in prison is she able to call the guys?
Again, she's a Night Sister.
Right.
So maybe she can communicate through the Force to Baylan.
Right.
Saying, come get me, I am here.
But
again, dialogue to clear that up for everybody.
Would have been nice. All you need is one or two lines.
It would have been nice.
That would have been.
I mean, that's the heavy lifting I'm doing for Filoni. Here.
Right. Like, all you needed is one line in Blue Beetle to explain why George Lopez is like Reed Richards. Just one line. Like, why you Reed Richards and not a billionaire? Is like, well, he was a cyber hacker, just got out of prison.
I went to prison.
Okay. There it is. I think, because, man, to his credit, the end of Clone Wars and all of Rebels that was a Star Wars grand slam.
Fantastic.
That was a grand fun, but now it's just like, I don't know.
I don't know if he's got it for live action. I don't know if he can direct for live action.
It's tough.
And write for live action.
Right.
I don't know. But him and Favreau had such great success with Mandalorian the first couple seasons, so I'm just like, something's there. I don't know. I mean, I think it's going to get better. I think we got through all that bullshit because he wanted for some reason to tell us what happened between the final battle in Rebels and then Ahsoka and Sabine leaving in the ship. He wanted to tell that 2-hour story for some reason. I don't know why.
It was
but
bad.
he did. I would have been fine had we just picked up from.
Yes, and we didn't need 8 minutes of Sabine cutting her hair. Like, it was.
No, it was just.
Every scene.
And I didn't
takes
need
too
I didn't
long,
need
too.
Ahsoka doing this pose one more time.
The whole show. She's just like, it's
Now-
Ahsoka
now-
just looks like a dude who convinced another guy to fuck his wife, and she's about to watch it happen.
He's just
like,
cucking.
Oh, here we
Just-
go.
Here we go. This is what I wanted.
This is what I wanted.
This is what I've been wanting. But look, it was you could say it now. You could do it this way, if you want to again doing some more heavy lifting for Filoni here.
Right.
Every Jedi goes to that point where they become this, like Obi-Wan. When you look at Obi-Wan in Phantom Menace to Attack of the Clones, he's much more this guy. And then when you see Luke Skywalker from Empire Strikes Back to walking into that temple in Jabba's palace, and he's sort of just like very regal and very he's more subdued.
Cool. Yeah.
So maybe that's what happened with Ahsoka, because Ahsoka was this, off the wall sort of kid in Clone Wars.
No,
and
that's fine, but I just don't.
She's gone through all that loss and everything else.
I think here's the thing too: is I think everybody in it is really good at what they are doing. Does that make sense? But I just think they're given a terrible script and they're given terrible direction because it's just how everything takes for the scene in the beginning when Ahsoka's in the temple finding the map, and you see her figuring out every single Jesus, we get it.
I know. I think this could have been helped out a lot by having a really hard ass editor, like fucking George Lucas's wife, his ex-wife, getting her to come in here and
get rid of
edit this thing.
Trim half this shit because those 2 episodes could have been one.
It could have been
one.
one.
Been fine. We didn't need Sabine pulling a Pee Wee Herman I'm a loner, daddy. We didn't need any of that stupid shit. Where the cops are chasing her. And then they're like, oh, all right, then I guess I know we're under orders to get you, but you do you. It was just, well, then why did we see any of this? Why did we?
I think this is because it's live action, and Filoni's okay, I got to sort of establish these characters for people who never watch the cartoon. So they need these big, long character moments to show that she's this angst-ridden, teen or early 20s kid.
But didn't we get... I kind of got that from her after Ezra's gone. At the end of Rebels, I kind of picked that up from her.
Yeah, but I think if you hadn't seen Rebels and you're just jumping into Ahsoka because you only know Ahsoka from Mandalorian.
Yeah, I
don't think it's an excuse, and there's a better way to do it.
Right.
But I think that's his reasoning. And again, I think he would be helped out by an editor and maybe a better director.
I just think that he does so... I think his other problem, you were talking about, he's trying to connect so many dots that I'm starting to not care about this. Just show me what the fuck happens after Rey now. Let's get going.
I think he gets so in the weeds with the stuff. He literally misses the forest for the trees. He literally gets so myopic on everything. You're people want to be entertained. You got to entertain us first.
Yes.
And then bring in your storylines.
I'm telling you, next up, if he gets his way, we're gonna have Disney Plus presents Porkins. It's gonna be the Porkins story. How did Porkins learn to fly a TIE fighter?
What if Porkins is the love child of Dex?
I'm
down for that.
Now I'd watch that. I would. Watch.
And you find out that Porkins has 2 little arms under his shirt that just didn't grow.
Never made it.
So he's got 4 arms like Dex, but he's also half human.
That would be. That's not out of the question, guys.
Oh, Jesus.
I sure have fucked a lot of human women. Didn't even know they were getting fucked by me. They were all passed out. I put some stuff in their chowder. Okay. All right. That's
Does that count? That counts, right?
Can we put him away for this? Could he?
Does that count?
Is that our contractual obligation?
I think that's our contractual obligation.
It better be. Jesus.
I've seen him do it. To help the D-man to get away with it, I hide all of his laced chowder in the one place in eternity and nobody's gonna find He-Man's mother's pussy. It's a big. You get it?
All right. That has to be it.
All right.
That has to be it.
That's.
We're
contractual obligation fulfilled.
They've been met. They have been met.
They've been exceeded.
God.
Exceeded.
Beyond. Oh, God. All right, well, Where can all the fine folk? Cinesnob Cody at the Cinesnob.
Cinesnob Cody. If he's still in the country, we don't know.
If he's not in fucking Guatemala by now. With the spiky. Honey, did you hear anything we were talking about?
About what?
You.
What did you say?
Well, we thought that maybe the reason Bergie hasn't been complaining is because you're to shut him up. And then the other thing
That's
is,
disgusting.
and then we were laughing at you. Wait, we were also making fun of you because you wanted to see what this whole Scandival thing was about.
Yeah.
So you watch a decade's worth of.
Yeah.
It's not like the.
It is a decade. My God.
It's not like the fucking Wire where you have to start at episode 1. You could have started.
No, I needed to start at episode 1. You don't know.
No, you didn't.
There's history.
did not.
You have to
History.
understand the history.
No history.
They're very
Read a
deep.
Wikipedia page.
Read one Wikipedia page. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Eddie, where can all the fine folk find you?
5 days a week, patreon.com, the Ralph Report. And if you're in Vegas this week, come by Brad Garrett's
Hey,
Comedy Club.
At
I'll
the
be there.
MGM Grand, baby.
At the MGM Grand.
Woo!
Come on by. And then you're there next week.
I'll be there next week. Are you bummed that there's not that the NFL doesn't start this weekend? You go to the sports book.
It would be kind of fun. I might go lay
Yeah.
some bets down anyway.
Dude, go for college.
I might do something.
That'd be fun, dude. It college is even more exciting at the sports book just to watch all the fucking degenerates because there's like 90 games. You know what I mean? Like with college football, there's like 700 games that they're betting on.
Yeah, there's like one dude losing his mortgage over Poughkeepsie State.
And exactly. Hold on. That's the title of today's episode. One dude losing his mortgage over Poughkeepsie State. That is 1,000%. You should definitely go Saturday. You should definitely go check it out Saturday.
Yeah.
And then for what it's worth, there's a halfway decent mall at the other end of the strip. So just start walking
down by the Strat
towards the Wynn. It's right
Okay.
across the street from the Wynn, and you just it's a good walk too. And there's a pretty good mall there. A lot of shit. So.
Oh no, I might have to go. Yeah, I haven't been to Vegas in like 5 years. 5 years is the last time I was in Vegas.
It'd be
It's
fun.
been a while.
It'd be good times. And there's that Walgreens there.
There's a Walgreens right here,
on the
and there's
strip.
one
at
the MGM.
That's the one where I found what's her face, the Emma. Remember the Walgreens
Oh
Emma?
yeah.
I got her at that one. So there we go. There's hope.
All right.
There's hope.
There's always hope.
All right,
There's always
dude. Be
hope.
good, man. You know
right.
where to find us. You know where to love us. Do it. We will be back tomorrow for a ramble proper. If Cody hasn't flipped, or if he has, maybe he's live from Tahiti or something. We'll figure it out. But all right, guys. Take care, everybody. Thank you. Bye.